So anyway, before we upload the search footage, we want to take a brief discussion about trail safety and redundancy. So we've talked about high capacity solar rechargers. You got a trail app, you got a GPS, and here's the thing with the trail app. So you have primary and secondary fallback systems. Primary dependency. One good app is the pro version of All Trails, which we use, and you can have the maps downloaded, and it's very good if everything is working out just fine and dandy. Okay, so having an offline app downloaded, then you can use your phone's own GPS system to navigate even when you don't have any sort of data cellular signal, and you have all these solar rechargers, so that can last a week. That's theoretically perfect, but we're also going to go into one point where that can end up in ruins. So if you haven't experienced it, we have experienced it where last year the phone imploded because of the heat. It was very comfortable. You might feel very comfortable in the heat, but depending on whoever, but essentially, okay, so the device goes kaput. All those solar rechargers, that's kind of pointless now because you can't turn on your device. And okay, so if you're just relying on your phone, you might be screwed. So the secondary backup that we have is a GPS. What we do is we take the waypoint from the trailhead and kind of just lazily break it down into certain waypoints on the trail. So if there's anything that goes wrong, what we can do is kind of just point to the GPS. Okay, these are selected waypoints that get you back on the trail. Okay, so use that. Follow GPS. Take a reasonable route. Be situationally aware. And in the event that all electronics fail, probably search and rescue. They would really like it if everyone would be familiarized. So this is a psychometric logic game that actually matters. So sometimes you do that psychometric computer electronic test, but this is actually one that matters, and people should really, do this until they're really familiar. Just pretend, if you make a mistake, pretend someone is gonna punch and kick you or something. But basically, take your map, get get a good compass, be familiar. So if you know your location, be familiar with the landmarks and practice taking compass bearings, and that's going to be pretty helpful. And it's good to have a general location, and just in a general sense, whether you have all these backup systems, just by instinct, what we always want to do in any type of environment is to get just a mental bearing of the landmarks. So you got any type of reference point. So you got sheep range towards your east side, uh, you, or basically wherever. So a sheep range towards, depending on your orientation, right? So um, it's a good idea to have just a mental bearing of where your landmarks are. So it's just much more comfortable as you're familiar with the location, and sometimes taking a higher elevation will kind of orient you roughly if you know what you're looking at. You got Clearly, you got Las Vegas, you got Sheep Range. So these are kind of just rough mental dead reckoning landmarks. If you don't have any type of equipment or your electronics are fried, your map is completely soaked and it's just uh, wet pieces. So there's a lot of good things to have. Your GPS, solar rechargers. So the GPS and a mobile phone, that's good because your mobile phone battery implodes. It's dead. You can't turn it on. The screen is cracked. The battery is exploded. What you can do is then you have your GPS that can also be plugged in a recharger. You got your waypoints. You marked your waypoints on the trail. So your phone dies, you fall back to that GPS. If your phone GPS dies, you can fall back to a compass and map. And we're gonna post this really, uh, for copyright reasons. We can't basically, take their screen, but for copyright reasons, but we can definitely link to it. We can definitely, share and link. So we're just going to, we'll put a link there, and it's going to be really good. So having, so we talked about navigation and having, so generally we'll take 7 to 8 liters of water, and you take some food, water and food, and you have to be uh, shelter smart, very shelter smart. No differentials in temperatures between low level areas like you going down a desert to Sunrise Mountain, very low level, hotter temperatures. Whereas higher elevation, you're gonna have some cooler temperatures, and then it's also good to combine uh, an app like All Trails with also with what we like is radar scope, because with the weather app you can kind of gauge if there's precipitation, if there's a thunderstorm. Basically, if you have a thunderstorm way out there, uprange, whatever. So sometimes, okay, so you're in perfect dry desert conditions. The sun is bearing down, dry, full 100% sun, not a cloud. But lo and behold, somewhere else, way upstream, there's a thunderstorm, and all of a sudden, what it goes just like a river, flows out to the ocean or whatever natural reservoir basin, flows downstream. Just simple gravity. So a thunderstorm way out there, by basic basic simple gravity, it can all of a sudden flood, wash people away in a wash if you don't see a flash flood coming. So Doppler radar, weather app, and hiking trail apps, that's all good. And then also experience. So if you combine experience with instrumentation and backups and some basic map reading skills, that's a pretty good thing. And also PPE, uh, helmet, head protection. You don't want to smash your skull. You don't want to smash your brains out. So take a brain bucket and stuff like that. So that's about it.